So there's a lot of newness. I think the thing that isn't new is what USA Basketball is, what the goals are, what we want to accomplish, and like how we go about doing that.
It's not about like being young, age, or whatever. It's about the opportunity to be here, to represent, and understand that you're a part of something bigger than yourself.
Yeah, Kyle! You're going posting? How we doing down here? We guarded? Ready on 3, 1, 2, 3. Right.
Welcome to the new quad. I'm really excited to be here. I hope you are.
When Caitlin Clark stepped onto the floor for her Team USA debut, something changed instantly, and you could feel it. Not just on the scoreboard, not just in the stats. In the whole room, the energy shifted. And if you've been following this story, you know why that moment hit so hard. For months, the message was loud and clear. She didn't belong. She wasn't ready. She hadn't earned it. People pointed to the Olympic snub like it was proof, like it settled the debate once and for all. The old guard had spoken, and that was supposed to be the end of it. Caitlin Clark didn't make the 12-player Team USA roster for the 2024 Paris Olympics, and that decision shocked fans across the country. Selection Committee Chair Jen Rosati said it came down to basketball criteria, not the fame, not the headlines, not the massive attention Clark would bring to the games. And that's where the real tension started. Because here's the question nobody could stop asking. If it wasn't about impact, then what was it about? If it wasn't about momentum, then what were they protecting? The decision was framed as pure basketball, simple and clean. But was it really that simple? Fans weren't buying it. Critics were loud. And Clark? She stayed quiet. No drama. No excuses. Just work. And when she finally stepped onto that floor in a Team USA jersey, it felt bigger than a debut. It felt like a statement, a reminder, a shift. And whether people want to admit it or not, that moment reopened a conversation everyone thought was over. Because when the room changes like that, when the energy flips that fast, you know something real just happened. And this story, it's far from finished.
That's not what this conversation is about. This is about what I will personally label the idiocy of Team USA women's basketball. How dare you make this decision? It's stupid. And I'm going to tell you why it's stupid. I want all the ladies on this squad to know every single one of y'all are deserving of it. Caitlin Clark does not deserve a spot ahead of any of the players on this roster, okay? If we're talking just basketball, you know we're not. You know we're not. Let's harken back to the Dream Team in 1992. Remember when Christian Laettner was on that squad? Forget the other pro players. Forget the pro players. Forget the pro players. That's a given. First time NBA players were allowed to participate. Don't put that damn screen up when I'm talking right now. I want to see Shanae and Andrea, okay? The point is this. Those rosters, right? Those players were on there. Do you know that Christian Laettner also was chosen ahead of Shaquille O'Neal and Alonzo Mourning? You know why? He was a 2-time national champion. He was a Wooden Award winner. And he was white. And he had his own cachet. He brought it to the table. He was a big-time collegiate player who was white and busting people's you-know-what. They couldn't miss.
But the second her Team USA debut tipped off, that whole story people were pushing. It started cracking right in front of everyone. Because this wasn't hype. It wasn't social media noise. It was control. Calm, steady, grown woman control. She didn't force shots. She didn't chase highlight clips. She didn't play hero ball. She orchestrated. She spaced the floor. She pulled defenders out to 30 feet and stretched the defense in a way nobody else on that roster can. And that's when you saw it, the shift. The body language changed. Veterans who once looked unsure suddenly looked relieved. The offense flowed smoother. The pace got faster. The crowd leaned forward like they knew they were watching something important. And here's the wild part. Her debut didn't just trend online, it exposed something people didn't want to admit. She was never the problem. She was the solution. Every pass felt on purpose. Every cut created space. Every defensive rotation was sharp and locked in. She wasn't out there playing like a rookie trying to prove critics wrong. She was playing like someone who already knew she belonged. And the reaction? Instant. Social media exploded. Analysts who questioned her fit started changing their tone real fast. The same voices that said, "too soon," were suddenly saying, "wait, this is different." So now the real question is, if this is what she brings, what were we watching before? And if this is just the beginning, how much bigger is this about to get? Because once a narrative breaks, it doesn't quietly go back together. And what happened in that debut might have changed.
Caitlin Clark is over, man. She is headed to Team USA basketball, and we're going to jump right into this thing, man. So the Indiana Fever and many of basketball media people in the news that Caitlin Clark will be returning to the basketball court. Now, this should come as no surprise from anybody. For anybody, bro. The 12-player roster has been released, and I'm excited because you know what that means? Basketball content is coming back, baby.
Because it was different. This wasn't WNBA politics. This was international basketball, and she looked completely comfortable. That's what made her Team USA debut explode. Comfort, control, confidence. The whole "she didn't belong" story collapsed in real time. You could see it in the huddle. Teammates leaned toward her. Coaches put the ball in her hands when the pressure hit. And let's be clear, trust isn't handed out. It's earned. And she earned it fast. But here's the bigger twist. It wasn't just that she played well. It was that the tone around her changed. Overnight. She went from controversial to essential. From polarizing to foundational. That's not small. That's a shift in power. Her debut didn't just quiet critics, it forced people to rethink everything. Because once you prove you belong on the biggest stage, there's no putting that genie back in the bottle. The narrative flipped right in front of everyone. And the crowd felt it. Everybody says they want star players, but she's more than that. She connects the game. She pulls defenders out deep, fires from way beyond the arc, hits a step-back three like it's nothing, threads a behind-the-back pass to the rim, flicks it ahead in transition. Wow. She's hard to guard all the time, not just sometimes. And every big shot made the statement louder. But here's where it gets real. Her Team USA debut didn't just explode. It divided the room. Because the second she stepped on that court, the same tension that followed her into the WNBA followed her here. You could feel it before tip-off. This wasn't only about basketball. It was about hierarchy. For years, Team USA had a clear pecking order. Veterans first. System first. Respect earned slowly. And then she walked in and sped up the timeline. So now the real question is, what happens when the old order meets a new reality? Because once the crowd sees it, once the coaches trust it, once the game opens up like that, you can't pretend it's not there anymore. And that's why this moment didn't just matter. It changed the conversation for good.
We being 250,000. You're still complaining about the absence of eyeballs. You're still complaining about the lack of headlines and notoriety and pub and cachet. You're complaining about all of these things. And the one person who has proven they can alleviate that concern, that could ultimately serve to benefit the better whole, now we want to sit up there and get all altruistic and stuff and talking about, hey, it's about the sanctity of the game and the level of competition. You're going to win by 30 without her, just like you'd win by 30 with her. It don't make a difference. You make the call because of the betterment of the whole in the end. That is not compromising your integrity. That is business, and y'all are going to find that out.
But Clark doesn't play slow. She doesn't wait her turn. The second she started pulling defenders out past half court, the whole defense bent. Spacing opened up. Lanes got wider. Transition got faster. The offense suddenly felt modern, sharp, free, dangerous. And that's when everything blew up. Not just the highlights. The reaction. Fans online weren't just cheering. They were asking real questions. Why wasn't she here sooner? Why did it take this long? Why did the whole narrative feel forced in the first place? And that's where the real controversy sits. Because her Team USA debut didn't expose a flaw in her game. It exposed hesitation at the top. It showed that maybe the delay wasn't about readiness. Maybe it was about comfort. And that makes people uneasy. Because once she stretched the floor like that, once the offense started flowing that clean, you couldn't unsee it. The structure adjusted around her. The pace changed because of her. The confidence spread because of her. That's not hype. That's impact. And impact forces accountability. So now the conversation isn't, can she play? That's over. The new question is, why did it take so long to trust what was right in front of us? And when fans start asking that out loud, when analysts start shifting their tone, when leadership looks reactive instead of proactive, that's when things get uncomfortable. Because this wasn't just a debut. It was a spotlight. And some people don't like what that spotlight revealed.
So the WNBA says they want to get paid more. They're saying this year they're going to make $1 billion. That's what they're saying, okay? For the first time ever. Now that Caitlin Clark is hurt for 2 weeks, did you see ticket prices? Insane. Let me read you the ticket prices. After Caitlin Clark's been hurt for 2 weeks. All right? So let's go through this. Caitlin Clark absence is having an immediate impact beyond the court. According to data shared by Yahoo Sports via TickPick, prices for 2 specific Indiana Fever away games against the Chicago Sky and the Washington Mystics dropped sharply after Clark was sidelined. Before the injury, the lowest ticket available for Fever's matchup in Chicago was $86. For the game in Washington, fans needed at least $41 to get in. After the news of Clark's absence, those get-in prices fell to $25 from $86 and $14 from $41. What the hell is going on with WNBA that they cannot handle all this attention that they're getting, as well as the hate and anger towards Caitlin Clark?
You could see it in the post-game interviews, the careful words, the measured praise, the almost scripted calm. Nobody wanted to say it out loud, even though everybody saw it. The game changed the second she stepped in. And that's where the friction starts. Because when a rookie walks in and instantly lifts the whole system, it shakes the old guard. It sends a message no one wants to rush to admit: the future might already be here. And not everyone is ready for that. Her Team USA debut didn't explode because she dropped 30 points. That's the crazy part. It exploded because she fit too smoothly, too naturally. The ball kept finding her. The offense moved because of her gravity. Defenders stretched out. Teammates got cleaner looks. And just like that, the debate flipped. It wasn't, can she handle this level? Anymore. It became, why was she held back? That question hits